Hey, it's David Breslow back here with you. Good to be here again with you. And just as a reminder, I am the founder of Performance Success Strategies and the creator of Wired to Win, a peak performance golf program thousands of golfers around the world are using to elevate the way they think, the way they feel, and the way they play the game in a much easier way than they ever imagined. So stay tuned. In a moment, I'd like to talk to you about today's tip. In today's tip, I'd like to talk to you about the pre-shot routine. Most golfers I know have one, some don't, but the high majority do, of course. I'm going to assume that because you're listening to this, you probably have a pre-shot routine also. But here's what I find really amazing about pre-shot routines. They often change. Ask yourself, does your pre-shot routine change depending on the current conditions? And when I say current conditions, I mean whatever's going on in your game right at that moment. Did you play the last hole poorly? Did you play the last hole terrifically? What's going on? Did you just chunk a couple of shots? Did you miss a few putts? Are you angry? Are you frustrated? Are you upset? Are you nervous? What I have found over the years is that many times golfers will tell me they do have a pre-shot routine. And then when I ask them if it changes, they say, yeah. Sometimes they do it longer. Sometimes they do it shorter. They cheat. They cut it. And all of that is happening. If that's happening to you, think about this for a moment. All of that is happening because you have chosen to use the external world, the outside conditions, the weather, the playing partners, the excuses, the poor golf, the poor choices, whatever's going on in your world at that time that's causing you to be nervous and anxious and frustrated and angry and so on. And you end up cutting your routine. You cheat. Instead of doing the full routine properly, you shorten it, or some do it too long. Most people shorten it. So look in the mirror. If that's you, what I want you to understand is that you're literally allowing outside conditions to control you. You're allowing people and situations to dictate how you do your routine, okay? And if that's the way you choose to play around a golf, good luck, because you're not going to be very happy if you do that. So it's really important to understand that whatever the external conditions are, whatever people, whatever conditions are happening, it has nothing to do with you doing your full routine properly. So I'm going to assume you have a decent routine if you're listening to this. But I have one very important question that is really the crux of this entire tip today. It's a question I ask every golfer I've ever worked with, professional or amateur. And the question is this: does your routine put you in optimal position mentally, physically, and emotionally and energetically to play your best golf? I'll repeat it again. Sounded maybe a little long, but here's the question. Does your pre-shot routine put you in optimal position mentally, physically, emotionally, and energetically to play your best golf? 95% of the golfers answer me with a no. Even though they think their routine is pretty good because they do it all the time, when I ask that question, the response is probably not, or not really, or no, something like that. But it's usually on the no, negative side. So what's going on there? You need to understand the purpose of a pre-shot routine is to gain clarity, to gain balance, and to gain rhythm. Okay? The purpose of a pre-shot routine is to put all those power tools that I call them, your mind, body, emotion, and energy, back in sync, in alignment. What else would a pre-shot routine be for? If your pre-shot routine is looked at as anything other than that, you're probably not getting the most out of it. Now, I have a model that I teach everybody, again, professional and amateur, and you know the pros have been working and working and working, and they have their routine down. They know exactly what they want to do over every shot and how they're going to prepare. And even when they hear this model, they are a little bit surprised. It's actually quite a great model that the mind-body relationship really loves. And I can't go through that in this little conversation here, but I can give you the first part of it for the moment. Here's how I begin. Okay, once I ask that question and the golfer tells me, no, my routine doesn't put those power tools back in alignment for me to play optimal golf. I wish it did. Well, it can. So here's the first thing I ask golfers to do, and I'll ask you to do. When does your routine begin? Now I get various answers to that question. Oh, it begins right after the last swing I took. Or it begins when I pick my club. Or it begins when I get to my ball. I get all sorts of answers. In my opinion, all of those things are, one's too early and the rest are too late. Okay? What I advise golfers is this. First, ask yourself, when does your routine begin? Because so many golfers do it unconsciously. They don't even really understand or realize when the routine actually begins. Or they're thinking way too much. You know, you just finished a stroke and you're walking or you're riding and you're still thinking. Take a break. Talk to your playing partners. Look around at the beautiful conditions. Look around at the trees. Look at the beautiful blue sky if you're playing on a nice day. Take the mental break. But your routine, here's my advice, start your routine 20 yards away from the ball. 20 yards away from the ball. That way you have a starting point where you're gathering all of your inner tools, your mind, your body, your emotions, and your energy together. You're basically making a command. You have to remember, you're the leader. All of these elements are waiting for you to take charge, okay? So I call that phase one, okay? I call phase one what's going to happen next, I should say. So I advise golfers to say to themselves, phase one begins now. Now, I don't mean this to be a teaser, but I can't go into phase one and phase two right now in this little recording, but I'm just giving you the beginning of the model, of the outline. At least you can do this on your own. So 2 important questions here today. Number 1, does your current routine optimize your mind, body, emotions, and energy for you to play your best golf every single time? If the answer is no, you might want to consider a better model to work with. And the beginning of the model that I teach is this. When does your routine begin? My suggestion is your routine needs to begin when you're about 15 to 20 yards away from your ball. So if you've hit your drive and you're walking, talk to whoever you're talking to, take your mental break, look around, laugh, whatever you're doing is great. But when you get about 15 to 20 yards away from the ball, you need to say something to yourself. In my model, I ask golfers to say phase one, which is what we're going to do next. Phase one begins now. Say whatever you want, but say something that's going to command your mind, your body, your emotions, and your energy to sit up and listen. It's exactly what's happening. You're commanding them to get together and listen to you, because what you're about to do next is you're going to teach them and train them to do exactly what you want them to do in order for you to optimize your next golf swing. That's the whole purpose. So today is about the pre-shot routine. Really think about what you're doing here. Understand that the routine is all about clarity. It's all about creating that alignment. It's all about optimizing yourself mentally, physically, emotionally, and energetically. And be honest with yourself, as I always ask folks to do. If you're cutting it and you're cheating it or you're stretching it out too long, you are allowing people and situations to dictate how you're going to perform your routine. And that is a very weak way to play around a golf. You don't want that. So take a look at what you're doing with your routine. And remember, ask yourself, when does my routine begin? Be honest. My suggestion, go out and try it. Get your routine to begin with a mental command that you're ready to begin the routine. Like I said, in my model, the command is phase one begins now. And then the golfer goes into phase one, which I can't get into in this recording. Again, I I apologize for that. So at least get started with your routine with this new awareness and asking these two questions. And I will look forward to speaking with you next time. As always, please put this into practice. And if you enjoyed today's tip, please leave a comment in cyberspace. And you're more than welcome to visit me at www.mentalgolfcoaching.com. Learn more about me and learn more about the Wired to Win program. So I look forward to talking to you next time. Take care.